Being in Japan to watch Japan play rugby at the minute feels like a genuine privilege. I've watched all 3 of their games to date surrounded by locals, and it's amazing to see them buy into rugby completely, so many of them from a standing start knowing nothing about the sport, and frankly, who can blame them? Japan at the moment are playing such beautiful rugby, and it's so much fun to watch. Even referee Yako Piper wants to see more of them with ball in hand. Whereas plenty of teams, most notably France, are capable of playing sexy one-night stand rugby, Japan's is consistent and elegant. It's Kate Blanchett or Colin Firth instead of the burning out starlet, because it's backed up by incredible efficiency and smarts, largely thanks to their coach Jamie Joseph. Now let's have a look at their first try, because I think this encapsulates a lot of what they're doing so well. This begins on a turnover by Michael Leach, who manages to sneak through thanks to Labuschagne just taking the attention of all the Samoans and most importantly the referee. The ball then spills out to Ignaki. Now, most loosehead props would just crash it up. That's what occurs to them. It wins a few cheap meters and it gives their team a chance to set into their shape properly. However, instead, he spins out to Nagare, who in turn puts it onto Tamura, who has already dropped back into position in order to assess the defence. Instead of just playing what will be their position's natural game, every Japan player is programmed to think bigger. By getting it into the hands of Tamura, their key playmaker, as quickly as possible, it allows them to find chinks in the Samoan armour as quickly as possible. So Tamura passes it the other way, where he finds the ever-incredible Kazuki Himeno. It's a good carry by Himeno, but for once during this World Cup, he isn't the most impressive thing about this fashion of play. Look at the players around him. In the space of about 3 seconds, Japan have snapped into their attacking shape. This means Tamura has a backup if he doesn't spot anything. They can just play their normal game right away. They get into their attacking shape so much faster than Samoa can get into their defensive shape, and a few phases later this opens up space wide for Masashima down the wing, and then not long after for Lafayette to go over and score the try. Japan approached everything with this efficiency. Samoa had their best game of the tournament, the one time you felt their discipline didn't destroy their chances, and Henry Taufu knitted the backline together very nicely, but they were still prone to the same level of frustration. With Japan clearing out so easily, so efficiently, here Samoa sniff a turnover almost for the first time, and, as such, they throw everything at it. Except, whilst the ball might look clean, Masashima's already released and Nagare is quick enough that this isn't a problem, he can get it away. Samoa's aggression at this one ruck has opened up space around it as everyone's flooded into the breakdown, and Labuschagne just fires through it. There's another fun breakdown trick here on their own line. So, Michael Leach enters as the main threat onto the ball. Samoa go in to get him off. And eventually, someone does drive Michael Leach off the ball, except it isn't a Samoan, it's Nakajima, his own loosehead prop. This wipes all the Samoans contesting Leach off the ball too, meaning they're all out of the way, leaving it incredibly clean for Himeno, who was waiting behind, to sneak in, get over and win the penalty. Even when they're not innovating, they're just so spot on. The third try was just a case of every man waiting to draw their man until they're fully committed before passing. It's a major pet peeve of mine that so many international teams can't do this, but Japan just draw each man, they fix them, until Lemeki gives the final pass to bring us all back to being kinky for Kenki. And it's a pleasure to watch because this Japan side is an absolute delight. It's attractive rugby, but it's also incredibly smart. Jamie Joseph has a plan, he has ideas, he has innovations, and his team are just following them to a green tea. We don't know how the rest of the tournament is going to go, but if they can deliver the same kind of joy as this beyond the World Cup, it's hard to imagine Japan as a whole nation not remaining so in love with rugby. I am in Kumamoto, in the grounds of Kumamoto Castle, which is behind me over there. This is where Wales play Uruguay tomorrow, as I'm recording this. And I've just been walking through the town centre, been dawdling around. There's some event going on over there, so I'm warming up and doing the sound check in the background. I walked past the Benetton shop, had a moment looking at it, thinking there's a rugby joke to be made here because it's like Treviso in it. And then who should walk out of said Benetton shop but Hadley Parks? Hadley Parks stalks us out with his parents. He comes out with his father, his mum's a bit behind. I assume his father is called Dadley Parks. I assume that's how it works. And then, as I continued walking on, I passed Rhys Patchell holding hands with a young lady. I had a moment of brief eye contact between us. He was wearing a hat, he was wearing, fairly incognito. His eyes dart down because he noticed I'm wearing a Wales shirt. Clearly didn't want to be bothered. I passed Dylan Lewis, Thomas Williams, and Aaron Wainwright, wearing a thick pair of glasses, which makes him look a bit like an IT consultant, which is a lot I love with the moustache. And then Ross Moriarty. I've passed basically the entire Welsh squad today as I've been walking around. And then, as I was walking into Kumamoto Castle here, someone informed me apparently Alan Wynne-Jones is nearby. Apparently Alan Wynne-Jones is here or has been here in the last sort of 15-20 minutes. So I'm walking on sacred ground right now that he has graced, he has touched, he has walked through, and there's a chance, and I'm actually genuinely incredibly anxious at the thought I could turn a corner and there he might be. And that's got me to a point which I'm amazed I got this many words out, and I don't quite know what I'd do if that happened right now. Wouldn't it be beautiful if I did it whilst I was recording this, or if I just turned a corner and suddenly that sold you. Anyway, I'm trying to rattle through as many of these as possible, so there'll be another one up very, very soon. I'm not sure which of the two I'm working on right now this is going on the end of, but there we go. So there's more coming in the next very soon period. I'm trying to get for as many games in the week leading up to the quarterfinals. So yeah, I'll see you again soon. Those were some quick anecdotes about rugbymen in Kumamoto. If I find any more, I'll tell you about them then. Bye.